Here is one of the happiest sights in the world, a bee enjoying the flowers. It's always such a compliment to me when a bee or a butterfly comes into the garden. Next, I decided to clean this little bench because I haven't cleaned it since probably the start of spring and it definitely needed a freshen up. Don't know what to do about the metal thingies under the glass going rusty though. Maybe like a rust-proof paint? I'll get round to it at some point. Yes, I am using a watering can to rinse off these bubbles. Yes, I do own a hose, but it's just too much of a faff to plug it in through the window. I'd rather just do this, to be honest. These cushions kept falling off the line every 5 seconds. I gave up in the end. Luckily, it's so hot they just dried on the floor. Then I cut away some of the old flowers. I've since learned, thanks to some very helpful comments, that if you take off the old flowers, more will grow. I just thought that once they were gone until next year, so I was very chuffed to learn this. But yeah, every month I just go through this rocky patch, get rid of old flowers, cut away old leaves and pick out rubbish if I find any. For some reason, there's always at least one wrapper or piece of cardboard in amongst these plants. I'm going to blame the wind, but it's probably the kids, I'm not going to lie. Some of these flowers aren't doing as well as I hoped, but every year the garden looks better and better, so I'm happy with that. My cousin grew these little marigolds from seed. How cute are they? I ended up just cutting the thyme like I was giving it a haircut. Anyway, heat wave number 3 of this year. I can't do this anymore. Luckily, we're going to the beach soon and it's usually cooler there, and if it's not, at least we can get in the sea. Although I have an irrational fear of sharks. I do fully expect to see a great white in British waters. Maybe in a few years we will, to be honest. Anyway, next I chopped a load of this chamomile to feed the goats at our local farm. They absolutely love pineapple weed and this is in the same family, so I thought they'd really appreciate it. This is not what this tool is for, and it didn't work. Surprise, surprise, I had to pull all the grass out with my hands again, like always. Someone said use boiling water to get rid of them, but I know they're only plants, but it feels really cruel. And what if there's some little bugs living in there as well? No, I don't want to do that. But yeah, for this year's holiday, we're going to Tenby. I'm so excited. I'm going to try and do a little mini vlog. But to be honest, my main priority is just going to be living in the moment with my family. I've felt so distracted and stressed out over the last few months, and I just want to focus on grounding myself and living in the present again. This buddleia has finally started to bloom, and I've seen so many butterflies in the garden since it has, and that was my ultimate aim. I've just tried to lift it up a little bit because it keeps getting ran over by the pushchair every time we go out of the door. And remember the wildflower seeds I planted last month? Look at that. And yeah, this is what the garden's looking like in July. It's literally my happy place and I'm so proud of how far it's come.